So I'm asking for help.
Money, money, money. That's all you got to
There's nothing wrong with being wealthy.
I know you know.
Like Kanye West says, having money is not everything, not having it is. No, Deuteronomy 8:18 says God gives us the ability to create wealth. No, it's the love of money that's the root of all evil. You don't like money so much, why you get up and go to work? Yes, I do think about all the things that you think you have to say. I'm just trying to leave a legacy for my family. Not everything, but when you got it, you can do some cool stuff. And now, your host for Talking Money in the Morning, financial health mentor to the working class, Mr. Cortez.
Good morning, Black world, and welcome to Talking Money in the Morning Live with your main man, H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, where I do my absolute best to bring practical yet proven wealth building strategies to working men and women all over this great nation of ours. It is truly an honor, privilege, and a blessing to be coming to you live and direct from the Live Free Academy studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. Guys, if you are not familiar with Live Free Academy, today I have its founder on, and brother is all about entrepreneurship and taking your gifts and talents and turning them into multiple income streams using this world and this way of technology by way of digital products, understanding online marketing and that sort of stuff. And the funny thing is, brother is a licensed attorney in his state and saw something better and beyond just being a lawyer and looking at entrepreneurship in an entirely different light. So if you want to learn how to get your money all the way right, you want to learn how to use technology, leverage social media, leverage video, leverage technology to start building multiple streams of income, then you want to go to livefreeacademy.com. So you guys know how I do. For those of you who are new, have never seen the show before, I'd like to let you know exactly who this show is for. This show is for risers and grinders only. You got to be ready to get up, get out, and get something. If that's you, this is your show. This show is for legacy builders, man. You got two choices. You can either leave a mark on this world or you can leave a stain. The choice is yours. But if you're like me, every night before I go to sleep, I'm thinking to myself, what can I do tomorrow, the next day, next month, next year to make sure my children's children are proud to bear my last name? If that's you, then this is your show. On the other hand, who is the show not for? The show is not for the bump on the log, that eternal pessimist who have a problem for every single solution. This ain't your show, man. It's not for you if you're the type of person who's got a problem with money, you think money's evil, you think capitalism is a dirty word, you think wealthy people are jerks. If that is you, get off my stream. I have no time for fake ones, right? You have to be ambitious and be a go-getter, man. So if that's not you, that's cool. If you're satisfied with where you are in life, I have no problem with that. I only have a problem with you when you have a problem with me wanting to be wealthy. Almost every day, somebody comments on my show, on one of my streams, or one of my business posts saying, man, why you chasing money? I ain't chasing money, I'm chasing legacy. And if you understand that, you too, my friend, ought to be chasing legacy, because I'm sick and tired of our people having to start over from scratch. So if that's you, get off my stream and we'll see you when we see you. So today I'm not going to delay, man. I got a couple quick announcements and then I'm going to bring on our guest. Guys, today, Sunday, October 1st, you can join Monetize My Life Academy for just $10 through Sunday. Sunday, the price doubles. We're still in soft launch mode. I'm letting people in at a deep discount because you can play around with it and make sure all my buttons are working and all that kind of stuff. So if you missed the $5 promotion, you can still lock in your spot at $10 per month. All you have to do is share this video, tag me in it, and I will send you the special coupon code to get in for $10 per month. This is a $97 a month opportunity that you're getting for $10 as we go through this soft launch. So you can kind of get your feet wet, all the tools, resources that you need to make money online. I mean, it's bananas, ebooks, e-courses, video courses, live trainings and workshops with me, live trainings and workshops with special guests. I mean, it's just amazing that you get all of this content for just $10 a month, but you got to lock in your spot before Sunday, October 1st. So share this video, tag me in it, say I want that coupon code for Monetize My Life Academy, and I'll inbox you that so you can get yourself registered. So without further ado, I think my guest is hanging and waiting in the balance. So we're not going to play around with it anymore, man. This guy, we had a couple brief conversations over the phone. He was introduced to me by another good brother, Bless Ellis. So shout out to Bless for introducing me to this brother. And we just had a couple conversations, and we realized that we have a lot of synergy and alignment with the things that we're doing and where we're going and the things that we want to see for our people, man, and the solutions that we're providing for our people to seriously come up. So I definitely wanted to share his thoughts and opinions with you guys. So while I'm going to introduce to some, for others I'll be presenting for the first time Mr. Thomas H. Clifton. How you doing, my brother?
How you doing this morning?
I am wonderfully marvelous, man. Excited to have you on the show, man. Based on what we've talked about over the last couple of days, man, I think you're a good fit for what we're all trying to do, and really your passion for our people and the route and the road that you took to get to where you are today. I think that is very, very inspiring and encouraging, because people are at a certain place in life because that's where society says they should be, and they're afraid to make a switch even though their heart is pulling them and telling them to go in a different direction. So before we get into all of that, brother, tell everybody who you are, a little bit about your background, and then we'll dive right in.
Hey, what's up, man? First of all, thank you for allowing me to come on your platform, man. I'm a little overwhelmed because my podcast is audio. I've got a face that's made for audio. You can apologize to your guests about to your viewers about that. I'm Thomas Clifton, man. I'm just a country boy from rural North Carolina, and I grew up dirt poor. You and I were talking about this, and I'm talking about the type of dirt poor where I grew up in all the way through the 90s. Without indoor plumbing, without adequate indoor plumbing in my house. The oldest of 10, and we were on subsistence living. It was tough times. We made it through, and I say we, I mean my family, all of us. We made it through drug abuse, spousal abuse, being impoverished, child abuse, you name it. We went through all of it. And that whole thing, it leaves an indelible mark on you. But the good thing about the way I grew up, my mother always stressed striving, educating yourself, and overcoming your obstacles, not using them for excuses. And so from that particular stance, she pushed me really hard to get out and really go into the world, find out what your place is, find out what you can do to help other people. It wasn't so much about money, it was about making sure that justice was served. My mother, when I was very young, was accused of a crime, falsely accused, and literally her rights were, she was trampled over the railroad, and it was a young lawyer that stepped in and literally got the case thrown out. He became a giant to me, and mentally ended up being one of the judges I ended up working in front of years later. And so with that, that's kind of my story. Fast forward until now, and I've been practicing law now maybe 16, almost 17 years. And one thing I found was I don't necessarily love practicing law. I love helping people. Practicing law has been good to me. I had the opportunity to spend a couple of years as an assistant district attorney, and that was an amazing experience. But what it was also was a job. And
right.
You and I talked about this. I hope you don't mind me sharing this.
No, absolutely.
Going back to my beginning when I had that job, man, I was working like James Brown in that courtroom. I worked for sweat every morning, 2 or 3 courts a day, grinding. Yet I'm the lowest paid man on the totem pole. And when I confronted my boss about it, his thing was, you're young, you're new, wait your turn, you don't have any money. Well, being my mother's son, I didn't take no for an answer, did a little research, because a district attorney in the state of North Carolina is an elected official. When I looked up the budget and saw, not only was I the lowest paid man on the totem pole, but he was paying someone that was hired after me $10,000 more a year than what I was making.
Whoa.
So we had to have a conversation, and it wasn't a pleasant conversation. And let's just say that after that conversation, I was given an $8,000 raise on the spot. Wow. Now, the state of North Carolina only allowed him to give me a $2,000 raise per month. So for 4 months straight, I got an $8,000 raise.
Wow.
On the last month, 4 months straight, I got a $2,000 raise that totaled up to $8,000. On that last month, I tendered my letter of resignation. And I did that, and I told myself, the next time you have an African American that you hire, treat them right up front. But number two, my thing was when I realized how grossly underpaid I was, but more so how disrespected I was, I knew then that I was leaving. Now, people told me, man, that's the dumbest thing in the world you could do. As a matter of fact, one of my colleagues, she kind of grabbed me and really tried to talk me out of it. She came to me with tears in her eyes, and she said, you know, you got a family, you got a wife, a couple of kids, you're just starting off. There are no black attorneys in this town, and it's tough out there on your own. You're going to starve.
Wow.
That was 15 years ago. Do I look like I missed it?
Wow. You know what? And you're right about that. That's the mentality. And that's why when we spoke, I said, man, you got to come on the show and share this story, because so many people are in that situation right now, and they're listening to people who they know and love, but also people they respect who are telling them, sit back, wait your turn. It's going to get greater later. You can know you got time to make all of this up. You know, don't jeopardize, don't take risks, right? And without no risk, there is no reward, man. So, like you said, from that point on, you haven't looked back, nor have you wanted to, nor have you had to. And I really want you to speak to a person in that situation. So what was it? I know it was the injustice. I know it was the unfair treatment and inequity as far as pay and all that kind of stuff. But what else were you able to turn to say, you know what? Everybody is saying that I'm making the wrong decision, but you had to somewhere deep down inside know that that was the right one for you, and that was you was gonna make it. So what was it inside you that drove you to go against the grain and keep pushing, even though, I mean, come on, man, you were going literally against the crowd, the entire community, county where you live, saying, dude, you tripping, bro.
And even family members would say I was tripping, man, but the beautiful thing about it, God rest my mother's soul, I lost her a few years ago, but she always thought outside the box. As a matter of fact, her thing was, don't think outside the box. Think hard enough to realize there is no box.
Right.
You hit the nail on the head. Who you're listening to, you give them power over you. When they suggest things to you, you got to stop for a moment and think about, what have they done in life? Have they done what you're trying to do? And for the most part, the people who were giving me advice, like the colleague, I love her to death. She's a sweet lady, but she has never been out on her own. See, what a lot of people don't realize, when I went to the DA's office, I had already started a practice right out of law school. I'd done it for about 8 months on my own, just me and the good Lord. Excuse me. And I had a mentor in law school. Now, law school was a little bit different because most of the professors did not advocate law students going out and starting a law practice from scratch. They thought it was too much risk, too much liability involved, too many chances of you failing. I had one professor who was one of my mentors who said, Clifton, you need to listen to people who have done what you're trying to do. His name's Irvin Jonah. He's a living legend. He actually represented the Wilmington TED. I mean, this brother's outstanding criminal trial lawyer, outstanding professor. He held a symposium for law students that basically was based on starting a law practice from scratch right out of school. His base was in finance. And so I never forget, he sat down and broke down how when you come out of law school, even the top students that go and work at these great big firms, how they may make close to, back then, and, you know, it's 2000, so they may have been making close to 80, 90, 100,000 coming out. By the time you break down billable hours and non-billable hours, you're looking at about $14, $15 an hour.
Whoa.
People like, hell, Clifton, you can make that at McDonald's. That's assistant manager at McDonald's. You know, so you got to make a decision. What do you want? But the bigger picture is the freedom. See, I was taught to think freedom. When you grow up poor, you have to be resourceful. You're already being looked down upon. People already underestimate you. So I came out with a sense of, I'm ready to take on the world. I knew, you know, any chances that I had gotten, any opportunities that I had received, they were there for the taking, and they were there for me to maximize. There was no look to the left, look to the right, hesitate. It was take it full speed ahead right now. Nobody helped you. Nobody helped you get them. You know, they're not paying your bills. That's what it came down to me. When my wife told me she supported me 100%, as a matter of fact, she never wanted me to take the job.
Wow.
My mentor, the same mentor that represented my mother, was one of our senior judges, and he and another black attorney really, you know, put a little pressure on me to take the job at the DA's office. I turned that job down 3 times. And they had told me it would be good for me, but also good for the community. And it was. Being in that position allowed me a vantage point that most people don't get working behind the scenes in the court system. But it also allowed me access to other lawyers who would give me the little tricks of the trade as far as business and things like that.
Right.
Because they wanted to gain a little influence with, hey, the new ADA who's controlling these courts.
Right.
If I need something done, I need to go to this guy and get some help. So they come to me for help. I'm pumping them for information.
Wow.
My business education took off.
Right.
I straightened the learning curve that way.
Mm-hmm.
So you fast forward that 2 years that I did, I already had a plan. I had a plan when I went into the DA's office. Here's a quick piece for anybody out there who's either working a job or looking for a job. Have a plan when you go into that job. Have a plan for what you want to learn when you get there, and have an exit strategy already in place.
Wow.
Because here's the thing about a job. We're teaching our kids, go to high school, go to college, so you can get out and get a good job. Brother, there's no such thing as a good job. You may make some money, but guess what? You can't pass it down to your children.
Right.
You don't control how much money you make. You got to go to another person and ask them when you can go to the bathroom.
Yep.
When you can come in the morning, so it dictates when you go to sleep at night.
Mm-hmm.
You have to ask them if you want to take time off to spend with your family. So what's so damn good about that? Jobs can be a necessity.
Right.
Jobs can create revenue streams and be a resource for you.
Mm-hmm.
The way I was taught, God is my source. So I never take that resource and put it above God.
Right.
If that
right.
resource gets in the way of the godly things that I'm supposed to be doing, then it's time to cut that resource off.
Absolutely.
And it's very easy to become comfortable with that false sense of security when that paycheck comes in every single week or every 2 weeks, every month.
Mm-hmm.
Being an entrepreneur means that you have to really hold on to your faith. That faith of a mustard seed that we learned about, you have to exercise that.
Yeah.
So every week in my law practice, by Friday, every day I told Lord what comes into the office.
Mm-hmm.
Every week I add it up at the end of the week. Some weeks I'm smiling from ear to ear. Some weeks I've got a half smile. Some weeks I got one eyebrow. But I always thank God for whatever came in.
Right. Right.
Starting over Monday morning, I'm back at zero.
Mm-hmm.
And I treat it that way. Mama said if you get a whole loaf, treat it like a half a loaf. She never lied. And then over the years, you start to find, greater ways. You purchase assets through your business.
Mm-hmm.
You use your business to create the wealth that you need.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that if you're stuck on a job, because your most creative time, your most creative energies are going to be spent building somebody else's dream, somebody else's business.
Now let's break something down, because I want you to. This is profound to hear you say it as an attorney, right? You said as an attorney, when you get out, chances are you can get with a nice firm who got you a cushy starter job, right? An attorney starter package about $80,000-$90,000 a year, but you have something called billable hours and non-billable hours. That means the hours that you're working that you're not able to bill somebody for, but you are in fact working, right? I want regular employees to know something too. You have billable hours and non-billable hours tied to your job. How about the time that you have to get to work? It's called a commute. That's a non-billable hour for your job. How about the 45 minutes to an hour that you spend preparing to leave the house to go to work? That is also non-billable hours. How about the hour the night before that you start breaking down so you can mentally prepare to get up and go make this thing happen? How about the commute that you have after hours? So when you run around telling everybody you make $20, $25 an hour because you're basing it on a 40-hour schedule, remember that you're putting 20 extra hours into making that 40 hours happen. Now you divide your $25 an hour by 60 hours and tell me how much you really make, and then we can talk about what Uncle Sam is going to do to that. Right? So it's crazy, man, that people don't really consider and really look at all that goes into something like a job. But man, that is some crazy stuff. And you took that leap of faith, man, and built your own practice. But you said you had some mentors, man, who were kind of guiding you and helping you and inspiring you. Talk about the importance of that mentorship.
Man, you can't do anything without a good mentor, without a good coach, somebody who is basically speaking those positive things into you. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily showing you how to do everything, but forcing you to be honest with yourself and forcing you to come out of your comfort zone. Mm-hmm. I speak about Professor Irvin Joyner, and I never forget one of the things he told me when I was about to go out and open up my first practice. And I had a little hesitation, and I never forget, he said, "Clifton, you know how to read, don't you?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Everything you need to know is in a book." He said, you know how to open your mouth? I said, yes, sir. He said, well, you can always ask for help. So he told me, he said, take those two tools and go out there and build something. Stop worrying about what may or may not happen and start looking at what will happen. Now, I will tell you this, too, because I think this was a great piece of advice he gave me also. Mm-hmm. That advice was, when you're starting a business, I don't care what you're doing. Most of us have some talent in mind or something we do. You can be a plumber, you can be a landscape architect or something like that. Mm-hmm. When you're starting your business, you got to be a better businessman than you are at the skill set that you have, because it doesn't matter how great of an attorney I am, how great I am in the courtroom, if nobody knows about me, and I don't know how to get customers to come into my business and hire me, I'm not going to make it.
Yeah.
So I learned that also. Now, you got to talk about, you're talking about somebody who had no experience with business whatsoever. I mean, honestly, for me, coming from my background, there was nobody in my family who had an actual business that I knew of. We had side hustles. A lot of people in the family had 2 or 3 side hustles, which is another topic in and of itself.
Right.
So you need those mentors to help you bridge those gaps. Sometimes the mentor serves to put you in connection with the people that you need to meet and need to be exposed to in order to get you to that next level. So if you've got people like that in your life, thank them. Always be mindful and respectful of them. First and foremost, my mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, and I definitely will say Mr. Robert Taylor, who was my honors English teacher in high school. Very talented young man. As a matter of fact, his daughter, Tensie, has just written a book. And I'm going to make the connection for you guys. Miss Tensie Taylor is an author, and she is phenomenal.
Absolutely.
And I think she'd be great for your show also, but you have to go back and honor those people, because nobody gets anywhere in life by themselves. Now, I know we've got colleagues on the other side of the table. They like to talk about bootstrapping and being a self-made man, self-made women.
No such thing.
We don't have that privilege. We don't have that type of distraction that makes us feel like we're more than what we really are. Brother, your gifts, your talents, you're doing exactly what God wants you to do. Share them with your brothers and sisters, trying to build in them, plant seeds in them.
Right.
I love what you said about not chasing the money. You're chasing the dream, you're chasing the legacy. The money will take care of itself.
Right.
Now, do we have to be smart and be stewards with our finances? Yes, absolutely. Do we need to look at systems and structures? One of the things that I teach my clients and also my students is that make sure you structure your business. For entrepreneurs, there's no better, word to me than limited liability. Why get into a business and risk exposing all of your personal assets? Limit your liability, and there are ways to do that. You can set up an LLC in almost every state, and it's a pretty simple process to do that.
Right.
I license to practice law in your state, only in North Carolina, so I advise folks in other states, know and speak with an attorney about setting up an LLC, about getting an operating agreement in place, even if you're a single member LLC, because that's going to help you if anything ever happens. And you find yourself in court, which when you get ready to sue somebody as a lawyer, the first thing you do is look for the deep pockets. There are 2 or 3 people involved. I want to go after the person who got the money.
Who got the money, yeah.
So here you are, Mr. Business Owner. You got a nice house, you got these cars. I can find out about that stuff. I'm coming after you.
Right.
Maybe it was your employee that made the mistake, but if I can make the nexus that he did it while working for you, I'm coming after you. Not just your business, but if you don't have protection, I'm coming after your food, your car, your house, on and on.
Right.
Look at me, I like to eat.
Right.
Every morning, you eat what you kill business. I got to do a lot of killing to eat, so I don't have any discretion.
Right.
I'm like a lion out there when I'm in that courtroom. I'm trying to feed. So you got to protect yourself. You better put up high walls. You better have a gate. You better have a drawbridge, a moat. You better have alligators and sharks in that moat. Protect your assets. Think about it. What's the first 3 letters in the word assets? Protect.
That is amazing. That is amazing. That is good stuff, man. And I have to admit to myself, man, that I am asset out right now. So I do have to go ahead and do a lot of, because I have 4 enterprises. And they are improperly structured. So I thank you for that piece of advice. And I think we have a lot of people who are kind of on the in the same boat. It's like, hey, you know what? I'm the type of person that I like to move. You hear the phrase ready, aim, fire. Well, I teach ready, fire, aim. I have an idea and I start running with it, and I'll course correct later. So now I'm at the place where I need to course correct, get my structure right, and protect my assets, like you said. But I have somebody else who had a question. She says, what's the best setup, S Corp, C Corp, or LLC? And we know this is an advice because I'm in Missouri. People listen to all over the country. But you want to talk to somebody about an S Corp, but can you tell the differences between S Corp, C Corp, and LLC?
Here's what I do. Here's what I always advise. The first thing is speak with an attorney in your district, in your jurisdiction, who's licensed to practice. You can start with the SBA. Go to your Small Business Association office and ask for a list of attorneys who practice business law, who may be willing to give you a free consultation. And you sit down and talk with them about how to actually structure your business. What's the best method to use? I advocate, I tell my clients, and I also tell my coaching students, I advocate LLCs because the LLCs give you flexibility. You can still operate your business like you're a sole proprietor, but it does give you limited liability.
Right.
It's not necessarily considered a corporate structure by the IRS, but you can elect to be taxed as an S Corp by the IRS. So you talk with tax professionals about how that part of the process works.
Right.
The good thing about an LLC is this. You can go from an LLC to an S Corp. You can't go from an S Corp back down to an LLC. So in the beginning, if you're small and you're trying to operate, think about some of the large companies that you've seen that are LLCs. If they're using it, don't you think that it would behoove you to use the same thing?
Yeah, it's cool for a solopreneur.
It's probably more cost effective for most people starting out. The biggest difference is, and this is a history lesson, corporations are statutory. You know, you're talking about hundreds of years where the statutes and the exceptions to the statutes have accumulated. And you've got to abide by all of that stuff when you operate your business. If you don't, then it makes it easy for the corporate veil to be pierced. LLCs are pretty much the byproduct of contract law, meaning you can contract to run it the way that you want to. So that's why I, tell everybody, speak with a lawyer in your jurisdiction. When you talk to them about an LLC, also talk to them about operating agreements and partnership agreements, because you're going to need those structures in place also. If you find yourself in court, they may be what the judge uses to determine whether or not you're actually operating as a business or you and your business are one and the same.
Right.
Because when it comes down to it, that's what the whole big shebang is. Are you and the business one and the same, or is the business separate and responsible for its own liabilities, actions, accidents, and you get to hide your private assets to keep them separate? Yeah. And a lot of people are in the same place that you're in because a lot of times we don't get access to this information. But the beautiful thing, and you and I talk about this, about the internet, it's all types of free information all over the internet. You can go, I think it's start with the Small Business Association's website. There's an organization called, I think it's called SCORE. You can go to their website. They've got a lot of good trainings that kind of break down the differences. There are books about it that are very simple and plain about how each one operates. Yeah. Educate yourself even before you go see an attorney.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna plug my girl Yvette, because she's been on me, man. She's a partner of mine, and she's got a book, $2.99 on Amazon. Go to The Benefits of Becoming an LLC for $2.99 on Amazon. You can download that thing. She'll walk you through that whole process by state and all that good stuff. And you might even get a free consultation with her. She has a master's degree in accounting, so that's what she does by trade. So go talk to her or get that book, The Benefits of an LLC. But also, if you're whatever your respective state is, your county or district, you can go to the Small Business Association and get a list of attorneys, CPAs, and professionals registered in your county, and you can go talk to them about that. So you brought up the internet, my man, and for those of you who don't know, I want you to write this down. Matter of fact, I'll just show it to you guys on the screen real quick. For those of you who don't know, now I wanted to ask you about this. I don't know, can you see the screen? Is this the original estate?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Is that the original estate?
That's one of the original.
One of the original. So when he talked about dirt poor, no plumbing, and all the way up through 9th grade, this is being the oldest of 10 children. So imagine mom, dad, 10 children. This is where they had to come up at, right? Being dirt poor. Another thing that I read in your bio, you said you had been working since you were a little boy. And I love the quote that entrepreneurship is not a luxury, it's a necessity when you're poor, right? However, I think the illusion of having a job and a quote stable income, people don't realize how poor they actually are. So they look at entrepreneurship as an option. I don't think it's an option in 2017, especially for black folk. I think it is a necessity that you have something on the side, because it's not if you lose your job, it's when. Because the average person will change jobs every 7 to 10 years, right? And then they will change careers 2 or 3 times. So where are you going to be at the moment that you have one of those job losses? And then the older you get, the longer the time span is between jobs. So if you don't have something bringing some income in on the side, a business or something that you can do for yourself, you're really setting yourself up for failure. But so I like that you said, man, you were in high school working a full-time job as a pizza delivery guy. You didn't say part-time, you said a full-time. That means school full-time, 40 hours a week on the job delivering pizzas to help the family survive, man. So talking about school, they can't concentrate, things of that nature. Talk about getting the grind started early, man.
Well, when you come up dirt poor, everybody works. I started off in the cucumber fields, the tobacco fields. I worked chicken houses, hog houses. I picked up beans, cans, anything that we could to earn extra money. Mm-hmm. Sometimes Pop would farm us out to his brothers and other farmers to do work for them. And it was never a question about a paycheck. If there was any money exchanged, it went to him. Mm-hmm. A lot of it was the barter system. Mm-hmm. But when you're raising 10, 12 kids, because there was always cousins or aunt or somebody that was living with us also, then you've got to, literally, anybody who can work is going to work. So I started off like that, man. I was so happy when I finally got a little summer job. I was in about 7th or 8th grade. And I was old enough to get a summer job at the local elementary school. It's about 6-7 miles away. I would get up in the morning and ride my bike to work. Work a full day, come ride the bike back home. When the paycheck came, a portion of it went into the house pot, and I put a portion away to school supplies and clothes and stuff like that. Right. I worked at Pizza Hut and, flipping pizzas and stuff like that. And I learned a valuable lesson. Number one, when you go to work, you're trading dollars for hours. Nobody's doing anybody a favor. I had a boss that taught me that last night. When I was working, I had this guy, this good friend of mine. He'd clown around a lot. So every night we'd be in there working, he'd get clowning around. Boss come in and clock him out. So after about 2 or 3 weeks of this stuff, and I ended up staying late doing his job of mine, I asked my boss, I said, why are you punishing me when this guy keeps cutting up? And he shut me down and told me, look, Thomas, when you came here, I asked you one question. Do you want to work or do you want to bullshit? You said you wanted to work. I said, yes, sir, I did. He said, well, you need the hours, you want to work, you want to make the money, I provide those for you. I need the work done. So that's the exchange. Nobody's doing anybody a favor. Now I'm sitting here thinking, man, I'm working late, I'm falling behind in chemistry, I'm falling behind in this class. That's not his problem. So I'm glad I learned that lesson, but I also said in my mind, I don't want my children to have to deal with that part of it. There are ways for your kids to earn money. Turn them into entrepreneurs. Start there. So my kids know, my daughter come to me, Dad, is there anything I can do to earn some money around the house to, get extra money to do, like to go to a ball game or something like that? Sure it is. There are always things that I need done. I pay somebody else to wash my truck. I can pay my child to wash my truck if she does a good job. Right now, with online entrepreneurship, I hate PowerPoint, I hate typing all this stuff. Kids know how to do that stuff. Let them do some of that administrative work that you need done and pay them for it. Figure out a good salary. If your kid's gonna do chores, don't pay them to do housework. Let them earn a commission. Show them the value chart of what it's worth. You clean up your room, you're not doing that for me, you're doing that for you. But there's some other things you can do around the house that will help us out. I will put $1 down on that. A percentage point on that you can make. I encourage my kids to start their own businesses now, even amongst their peers. My thing is, and we encourage them to go seek higher education, but I think we get mixed up in that process too. We'll take little Raheem and send little Raheem somewhere that costs $10,000, $15,000 a semester, $20,000, $30,000 a semester. He really shouldn't be there. Maybe he needs to be at the community college where he can afford to be. Because we've got this idea of go to high school, go to college, come out and get a good job. Well, guess what? So looking at a magazine article, it may have been Forbes or U.S. News and World Reports or New York Times, something like that. They had this article about how in the black community, even when we pursue higher education, it costs us more. We end up going in debt behind it. I mean, you're a numbers guy, so you understand that.
Yeah.
I'm not anti-college. I went to two beautiful HBCUs, Elizabeth City State University and North Carolina Central University School of Law. Got scholarships to go to both. They were very good to me, and I knew I had a plan for what I wanted to do. Came out of undergrad debt-free, refused to sign up for loans in law school until my dean sat me down and said, boy, you're not going to make it unless you do. I cried. I was 20-something years old and I was crying. I had never, ever had any debt in my life up until that point. I always paid everything in cash, took care of my bills, came out of college, debt-free. And that was like a breath of fresh air. Now I see kids come out of college, they're $100,000 in debt. They got a degree in basket weaving, and they're never going to be able to pay back that debt.
You can't make it. And that debt traps you into a low-paying job because you got debt obligations, and because of those debt obligations, this low-paying job will, man, I got to work. This all I can get. I can't do anything more. And like you said, you have those BS degrees, right? Pun intended, because a lot of them, there's no feel for that. And these schools knew that when you went there taking those classes in that BS industry that doesn't really exist. Right, they're making stuff up and making curriculums up so they can give you what you want, which is an easy ride through school, so you can get a degree. So they making this easy ride for you, but they're also making a provision to fatten their pockets, man. And you talk about paying your children. That's one of the strategies that we teach, because when you have an LLC and you have your business structure right, you pay them a salary from your business, and now you can write off those expenses because you can contract with your children, right, and pay them up to $6,300 per year. They don't have to file a tax return if they don't make, right. So we teach that. So I'm glad that you mentioned that.
I always tell people, talk to your tax professionals. Make sure, because anytime you take advantage of, you've got a right to claim exemptions, business deductions. Just make sure you're following the guidelines when you do it,
and do it right.
And that way, it doesn't mean you won't get audited, but it can make sure that you're not, penalizing you.
Right.
I understand that part of it. I'm glad you touched on that too. We got to get out of this mindset as Black entrepreneurs that we want to keep money on the table. Structure your business, follow the guidelines, take the deductions where necessary, but make sure you're counting your income. Make sure you count. You want to be able to show a profit in your business at some point, because you're affecting your business credit. You're affecting, if you don't put yourself on payroll and start paying into the system, you affect your own Social Security. It's a reason why these rich, corporations, these wealthy people set up, nonprofits and place their, family members on the boards and in positions and pay them salaries. Even though they're already super wealthy, they're taking advantage of everything that's out there. Yeah. And we should be doing the same thing. But if you want to discredit your income, discredit your revenue sources, your profits, then you hurt yourself in the long run. The other thing is, the IRS does not believe that anybody would go into business to lose money every single year of their life.
Right.
It doesn't make logical sense. So you're setting yourself up for a red flag and failure there also.
Right.
So that's one of the things that I teach you. If you're going into business, go into business. The other reason why, if you structure yourself right, you follow the guidelines, get a plan in place. You want to make sure you have some type of corporate structure or some type of limited liability structure set up. You want to make sure you got business bank accounts. Get a tax ID number. Get a Dun and Bradstreet number. Make sure you got all of the necessary licenses and privileges to operate the type of business you're operating. Get some damn insurance. That's your last line of defense. I've got a course that I teach, and that's the last thing it is, and that's the name of the title of that module is get some damn insurance. I carry malpractice insurance in my law practice. Right. It's expensive. But you best believe lawyers make mistakes. That's why it's called the practice of law and not the science of law. Right. And so when you make a mistake, and I've had these moments where I had to call my insurance company, oh, no problem, it happens all the time, you're covered. That helps you to breathe that sigh of relief, because trust me, it's easy in business to make $1 million mistake and then sit there and start realizing, you know what, I don't have $1 million of assets to cover that mistake. What's going to happen? Right. It'll bankrupt you. Not only you, but your wife, your kids, college fund, everything's now gone. And a lot of people don't understand that when you're operating a business, as you grow, you're going to have to bring other people in to help you get the work done. Well, guess what? You're responsible for them. If I send my employee out on a lunch run, and God forbid she runs into somebody and kills somebody in the process, guess what? When the lawyer on the other side starts looking at it, they come after me also. Because they know she doesn't have any money. Right. So he got a business, he got a building, cars, got a house, all the, you know, you got insurance. Here's the insurance. Insurance is like that steak that you wave at the bear when he right on your heels. Here's the steak, man.
Right.
Keep running.
Right. That's good stuff, man.
I can't say, please get some damn insurance.
That's
and go ahead and tell them Thomas Clifton sent you to get some damn insurance.
right. And it's funny because I am adding insurance to my brand as a licensed agent here in Missouri. And in my studies, I'm looking at the different things that are available, key man insurance and buy-sell agreements and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, wow, that is real protection, right? As you're building your empire, I mean, there's some snafus, like you said, that could happen and can derail that whole thing before you finish pouring the foundation. But with proper coverage, small bump in the law, you just keep that thing moving. Insurance gonna handle it and take care of it. So I want to show people your podcast site, because you not only are the guy who's teaching these business, and you have business coaching available for anybody who's interested. We'll give them those details here in a second. But it's you like to, like I said, this is my Brothers Keeper speaker series. I look at three things when I bring brothers on this platform. Number one, you got to be doing big things in business. Number two, you got to be doing big things in a community. And number three, you got to have the heart to help educate other brothers, each one teach 10, how to become or elevate their lives, their game, how to boss up, level up, whatever term the kids are saying today. But you like to pour into other people to help them get to the next level as well. So that's kind of what my Brothers Keeper speaker series is. So let's talk about the podcast a little bit. And I was just rolling through some of your guests, man. I saw you had Marquell Russell on. That's my guy. He's been on the show a couple of times, and very sharp brother, building a digital empire that's crazy successful. So this is Live Free or Die Grinding, right? The podcast. What made you an attorney?
LiveFreeAcademy.com, that's the website.
Yeah. What made you an attorney want to say, wait a minute, my practice is nice and I keep building this empire. Why jump into the online entrepreneurship space from your perspective?
Well, it goes back probably I think it's been about 6-7 years back. You know, I'm rolling along. My practice is growing. I'm doing very well. I bought a building. When, you know, I had a partner years back. Me and my partner dissolved our partnership back in 2009, I think. So we went our separate ways. I bought a building, started back up from scratch on my own. Mm-hmm. Next thing you know, at that time, you know, this is true. I don't talk about this a lot, but while I was working at the DA's office all the way through my partnership, me and my family were still living in a double-wide trailer. No disrespect to the double-wide, but it was almost boxing us in. I needed space. It was time to build or buy a house. And, you know, so I'm really grinding to get to that point. It's time to make the next move. Mm-hmm. So in the course of 3 or 4 years, everything kind of really takes off, and I'm able to build, you know, take my family from that double-wide trailer to a beautiful home out of, you know, the private resort community. Walk off my back deck and you can run right onto the golf course, private lake on the other side of, you know, the street, and, you know, life is good. And I'm, you know, very comfortable at that point. I'm working a lot of hours and, you know, dealing with a lot of stress, and like anybody, and this is the real side of entrepreneurship too. Mm-hmm. When you start allowing your business or your work to take control of your life, things happen. Mm-hmm. I'm way overweight. I'm still way overweight. Blood pressure was sky high. Mm-hmm. Frustrated a lot, missing a lot of time with my kids and my wife and my mother. Beautiful soul that she is. You know, I'm in the process. We're about to move into the home, and I'm frantic because we're getting everything ready to buy new furniture. We didn't have anything to put in the house. We go from having no space to having all this space. We can fill it, getting everything set up. And my mother stops me one day, and we're having this conversation. She said, "Son, slow down." And I said, "What's going on, Mama?" She said, "I'm worried about you." And I said, "Why? You know, everything's cool." She said, "Well, I talked to my granddaughter and I talked to the grandkids, and they're worried about you. My granddaughter tells me, Grandmama, my daddy works too hard. Grandmama, my daddy never has time for himself. Grandma, even when we go out on vacations, people bother my dad. He never stops. He can never tell anybody no. Grocery store, restaurant, bathroom. People come to church. I got, you know, something I need you to help me with. I got this I need you to look at." It got to the point I literally got to shut myself off from everything, just stay at home on the weekend, don't go nowhere, just try to get some peace. Mm-hmm. And I never forget, my mother told me, she said, son, you've done very well. She said, I pushed you too hard. She said, you've been chasing success so long. You don't realize that you're already success, and you don't enjoy the success. And she was right. I hear ball players sometimes talk about how they hate to lose more than they enjoy winning. That's a sad state to be in, and that's where I was.
Yeah.
So we had this conversation, and I never forget. She was like, son, God's got a bigger plan for you than you have for yourself. What happened to the dreaming part? You had dreams of philanthropy and doing so many other things. You've kind of put that on the back burner. She said, don't get too comfortable where you are. And at the moment, I thought she was talking about me being a doctor, or not a doctor, but being a judge or running for DA or something like that. I'm like, Mom, I don't want to do that stuff. I'm good where I am. Good practicing. I got a good practice going. I'm good. And I kind of brushed her off and said, look, we'll talk about it later. I want you to come out and see the house. She said, well, I'll come out the day that you guys move in. I'm going to come out and hang out with you. We're going to talk some more. So cool. So that was about 2 weeks out, and I go back to doing what I'm doing. But I didn't talk to her anymore for the next couple of weeks. I think we may have exchanged an email or something. And you fast forward to move-in day, and I'm running all over the place getting everything done. Mama's coming at about 6 o'clock, so I wanted everything perfect. I mean, we never had a home. She preached home ownership above everything else. We didn't own a home. All those places, like that house that's in that picture, we rented those places. And there's several other like that. You pay somebody to live in a slum.
Wow.
Well, so, here's a chance for me to really, make good on Mama's vision. Make Mama proud. Not that she wasn't already proud of me, but I really wanted to do more. So we get set up, and it's this house that I'm living in right now. And I never forget, it's about 5, 6 o'clock. I get a call. And when I get the call, I'm looking at it, I'm like, all right, Mama must be outside in the yard. She may be up the gate or something like that. I get on the phone, and my sister tells me, Tom, we're on the way to the hospital. We think Mama had a stroke. When I got to the hospital that night in Florida, because my mother's 54 years old. She had a massive stroke.
Wow.
And the doctor told me and my brothers and sisters that she, 40% of her brain was covered. God would be with the Lord later that night when we took off the machine. And I was talking to my younger brother who was with her when she died. He told me, Tom, Mama actually died in that chair she was sitting in. He said, when it happened, he said, she looked up at me and she told me, tell my children I love them. And those were the last words my mother said on this earth.
Wow.
And it really made me think about the conversation we had. But Cortez, this was the thing. Excuse me, I still get emotional about this.
No.
My mother, in the last amount of time she had on this earth, took the time to make sure that we were okay, her children, above all else. And I thought about it, I said, if it were me at that moment, honestly, I would be begging and bargaining with God, Lord, please give me more time because I've missed so much time with my children. There's so many things I hadn't done with them, with my wife that I plan on doing because I put all of that aside, trying to build this law practice, trying to build, something. I had allowed that blessing to get in the way of my greatest blessings on this earth.
Wow.
Also, I'd allowed it to take something from me that's the most valuable asset that anyone will ever manage, and that's your time. We don't own time. We can only manage it. You can't recoup it. You can't recycle it. You can't reuse it. You can't borrow it. You have a finite amount of time. Finite. It's a limit to it. And when it's done, it's done. So you better do everything you can with every second that you have. Money's good. Yeah, we have to have money to live, it's part of the process. But you think about this for a moment. You're a numbers guy. If you take the gross domestic products of every nation in this world and you multiply it by 10,000, 1 million, take that number, whatever it is, and tell me how many nanoseconds of time you can buy. So, that process right there really made me wake up. It made me take notice that I needed to, one, go check on my health. And it started a series with me where I started working on it. Number one, I had to go to the doctor, blood pressure medicine. Man, my blood pressure was in the 200s.
Wow.
I was a stroke or heart attack waiting to happen.
Wow.
Still working on my, overall working on my weight and all that stuff. And a lot of it was attributable to the stress of really just running this brick and mortar business. And it's a service business. If you're in a service oriented business, it's going to take time because you've got to give that time to people in order to do that business.
Right.
The thing about practicing law is this. It's the type of business when you see lawyers, and most lawyers won't tell you this, In order to be successful, you've got to take on more work than you can humanly do. That's why lawyers always appear to be so busy, because they got so many clients and so many things going at one time. On the outside, you see, we've got these suits on and the nice car and all that stuff, and everything's in order. On the inside, they're just like anybody else. They're falling apart. They're barely holding it together, but you can't tell anybody. Right. Lawyers have some of the highest rates of alcoholism, drug abuse, spousal abuse, because of the stress level. So I started thinking about those things, and I'm like, what was Mama trying to tell me? Honest to God, I'm flipping through stuff, and it took me, a couple of months. I lost in my life. I was just numb. I mean, this woman became pregnant with me when she was 15. She had me at 16. She fought to keep me. Social services said, get an abortion. Her caseworker said, put me up for adoption when she decided to have me. She learned, and we grew up together. My mom, my stepdad, and me, we all grew up together. Because they're 15, 16, 17 years old. Just a few years older than me, if you think about it. Yep. She was 54 years old. So I'm thinking, what was she trying to tell me? As I'm looking through things and I'm really questioning, I look at Mama's email. No lie, my mother's email, she had Gmail. She just got no email. She loved it. Loved education, loved communicating. Her email was lovefreedom@gmail.com. Love freedom. Wow. And no lie, man, it hit me like a ton of bricks. It's like freedom. And I had this epiphany. You know what? I don't love practicing law. I love helping people. I used to dream about helping people. That's what my dreams were. Growing up poor, and I knew so many other poor people, it always made us feel so good to help each other. That's what life was about. Right. And then I started to realize, I love entrepreneurship also. Here's how you figure out exactly what you're meant to do in life, exactly what you're passionate about. Take the law practice. I enjoy practicing law. I still do it. I'm semi-retired from still doing it. It's a good thing. I help people in that. But there's certain things I don't do anymore. But my law practice, you have to pay me to do that work. Sitting here now, we've been on this telecast, been on this live stream for what? Almost an hour. We're doing it for free. You didn't offer me any money. Yeah. I do this all day long for free. I will advise you. I will share everything I know. I'll tell you about my failures. I'll tell you about my triumphs. I'll show you how I do stuff. Right. I don't mind. I'll give from my heart for that. That's what I'm passionate about. So how do I take that and wrap it up and give it away so that the people that need it can get access to it? And no lie, I had no experience with podcasts, no experience with online marketing or anything like that. But when we seek, God gives us the answers and the platform. Yeah. And to make a long story short, at the suggestion of one of my business partners, I went to this online, this internet marketing event in Raleigh, North Carolina. I met a brother by the name of Timothy D. Craigette. As soon as I walked in, very good friend and mentor right now. Through Timothy D. Craigette, I met a gentleman by the name of Ty Cohen, very good friend and mentor who lives right here in North Carolina, very good man. Ty Cohen introduced me to a young man by the name of Marquell Russell, very good man, one of the first guests on my podcast, smart individual. Now here's the thing, with the exception of Ty, all these guys are younger than me. There's a brother by the name of Sharesh May out of Atlanta. I don't know if you met Sharesh, outstanding entrepreneur. Sharesh is a brilliant podcaster also. I'm meeting these guys and they're teaching me things right off the bat. So guess what? We talked about this before. They become my mentors. It's funny because they'll laugh sometimes. They're like, dude, you don't mind people knowing that we're your mentors. We're younger than, they're younger than me. They're very successful in the online world. I don't have a problem acknowledging brilliance, intelligence, and expertise where I see it. I don't care your age. Right. If I can learn from you, I'm going to humble myself and ask. If you need a mentor, reach out to them. You see somebody doing something that you want to do and they're successful at it, humble yourself. Be honest with them, be honest with yourself. You need help. Absolutely. Brother Cortez, you're a mentor. You're a coach right now. You've taught me some things right off the bat. Hopefully there's a dialogue and an exchange where we help each other. Absolutely. This is how you build empires. This is how you build legacies. Absolutely. That's good stuff, man. So you guys have been listening to and learning from my man Thomas H. Clifton. He's going to stay on and give me some behind the scenes stuff because that's just what we do. You got to have some exclusive stuff. So you guys, we didn't get a chance to do question and answer, man, but I think you poured out into people enough to make them want to see that it's okay to be at a certain level of success and want to change lanes. There's nothing wrong with that. Look, if you got a job, I'm not telling you to go out and quit your job today. it's a good thing because you've already got a revenue source. If you've got a business that you've been doing, but hey, maybe it's gotten to that point where you're starting to feel stagnant and it's time to shift to do something else, you've got to pivot when the time is right. Start planning your exit strategy now, but don't just plan, execute.
Absolutely.
Pick a date. Figure out how much money you need to make in order to be able to step away from your job. Start by cutting out overtime. Figure out what you need to make right now to get rid of working overtime. And you'll be surprised that the more freedom you gain, the more creative you become, the more confidence you get, and the better your life's going to be. Quality of life is what it's about. It's not about the amount of money.
Absolutely.
When I was talking about this, and don't mind sharing this either, online, I'm making less money than I make in my law practice, but I'm looking forward to making less money and living more.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, is being able to make money more efficiently and more effectively so that you can buy your time back. That's the part that people don't get. I'm a big time network marketer, affiliate marketer, internet marketer. All of those things give me one thing that I don't have if I were working a job, and that's leverage. And black folks don't seem to get leverage very well, but we are the group of people that is being leveraged the most. But when we talk about making leveraged income,
brother, you hit the nail on the head. You're going to get me started on that, because I'll show you something. There are only two uniquely American musical art forms. That's jazz and hip hop. We created both of them. Guess who makes the least amount of money on both?
we do.
We did.
Yeah.
Because we're so wrapped up on the platform, getting on the stage and being seen, that we don't understand the business of it. That's why somebody like Taylor Swift, and I have nothing against her, but Taylor Swift recently trademarked the phrase, "this sick beat." Now, you're like me. You grew up listening to hip hop. Man, I heard that at parties in the 80s.
Right.
I heard it, on the radio. I heard it my whole life. She didn't create that phrase. Some DJ, some MC did.
Yeah.
But they didn't understand how to leverage the power of it. Think about when they told us that hip hop wasn't even music form. Now it's in every commercial that comes on TV.
Absolutely.
White people, Asian people, purple people, brown people, doesn't care what color they are, Bob in the hip hop. Preachers in the hip hop.
Yeah.
Everyone's into hip hop. Kind of hardcore. It wasn't even considered music. Now the world can't survive without it. It's considered the preeminent culture. What's the guy's name? Gary Vaynerchuk. Nothing against Gary Vee. Cool guy, cool entrepreneur, but he basically used hip hop and the hip hop culture to build his brand. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
He's from the hip hop culture. So why don't we do the same thing? We'll give it away.
Yeah.
Look at the internet. Look at social media. Who's driving the viral content? It's us. We're just not packaging it, and we're not capitalizing on it. And that's the biggest problem that I see.
It is, man. It is absolutely astounding of what we give. I like to say that they taught us how to what they do is they taught us how to be famous, and now everybody aspires to be famous even at the expense of being broke. So you have so many famous broke people, because you think about it, the people who make the real money in these industries, nobody knows them. I couldn't tell you who the top grossing film producer is right now, but he's probably sitting on $1 billion empire. I can't tell you who's the biggest distributor of hip hop music right now, but I know he's worth a few $1 billion, whoever he is, whoever she is.
Well, you look at the Clive Davises, the Jimmy Iovines, and people like that. They don't write a single note. They don't get on stage. They don't drop any sweat at these concerts, anything else. But they make just as much money, if not more, than the Dr. Dre's, the Jay-Z's, and everybody else. So ownership and control is a big thing.
It is.
Control of your intellectual property. Here's an example right here, and I hope you don't mind me sharing this.
No, absolutely.
Regardless of what you think about him personally, his personal life, Floyd Mayweather Jr. You go back I think it's been about 20 years now. You go back and Floyd Mayweather was on the Top Rank Boxing, owned by Bob Arum.
Yeah.
Bob Arum and Top Rank has been controlling boxing, for decades. All right. Bob Arum also had another fighter by the name of Oscar De La Hoya, who was basically branded as the Golden Boy. Yeah. And this was the prize pony in the state. So Floyd Mayweather, who has been termed Pretty Boy Floyd, that came from Bob Arum, not from Floyd. He's already being placed as the heel, the bad guy. He comes to Bob Arum and says, "Bob, I want to fight Oscar De La Hoya for $20 million. Bob Arum looks at him and says, "You're not worth $20 million. I've got a fight for you with Antonio Margarita for $8 million. This is the guy. Margarita's got to put the plaster in his gloves. $8 million. Ford says, no, I'm not going to take that fight. Goes back, talks to his team, looks at his contract. He's got a $750,000 buyout clause in his contract. All right, now let's do the math. He asked for a $20 million fight, got denied. He was offered an $8 million fight. He turned it down. All right, so he took $750,000 of his own money, bought himself out the contract. Within 2 years, the Oscar De La Hoya fight is made for $25 million. You do the math. 25 subtract $8.75 million is still a truckload of money.
Absolutely.
He bet on himself, and then look at what he went on to do. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is the sport of boxing.
He is.
People tell me I don't like the way he fights. I don't care about it. I'm a big boxing fan, but to be honest, I don't care about it. You know what I care about the most? He mastered the business of boxing. The business of boxing. Now, the NFL. 80-90% of the players are black. Yet there are no owners, no black owners in the NFL. Few black GMs, maybe one, maybe two, or assistant GMs. I think I don't remember.
Right.
Just a couple of black coaches. Now we've got Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan. We've got Bob Johnson. We've got some other brothers. Their sister. We've got more black billionaires in this world than most people realize. And then right up under them, we have black millionaires who have multiple
hundreds of millions
of dollars who are on their way to become millionaires.
Yeah.
We're thinking, I want to own a team. I want a team. No, we don't need to own a team. Look at Ice Cube, what he did. You need to own your own league. The league. Brother, it's so much money in it. Why do you think these people are holding on to what they have?
Because they know.
They'll take, I'll create this wide arena. I think Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, said, that field, that's my arena I own that I let you play in that arena. I let you. I own that.
Right.
So you do what I say. You run, little monkey, when you're on that stage. When I say run, you catch that ball, and you get your brains knocked out. And I'll pay you. Yes, I'll pay you millions of dollars. Now, the growing sentiment is they're just a bunch of whining. These players are just a bunch of whining millionaires. So what if they're millionaires? They're still broke compared to the billionaire owners.
Right.
Now, my thing is, I don't believe in begging you to let me into your entity. I'd rather start my own. Because you know what's going to happen? If we do that, it'll bankrupt them. Nobody's coming to see a bunch of white guys play football. It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen. Any other sport. You think about the same thing that happened with the Negro Baseball League.
That's exactly right.
When we had our own, those brothers were making more money than all of the white players who were playing in the MLB. And they didn't realize that because the way that the owners control media and they were able to parade these players in front of everybody, you'd assume that those players were rich. But the Negro League players were making way more money in their own league than the MLB players were. And they gave all of that up for acceptance. So we're going to kill the stream right here because this conversation is for the exclusive folks. Hey guys, I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. You guys know I love you. You guys know I will make this stuff available at some later date. It may not be available for free, but it will be available. You'll get to see the after the stream conversations with all the guests that we have. Man, we like to have a little fun with that. But I think we gave you enough for free. And that's kind of how online marketing works. See, well, I'm going to give you a quick lesson in leverage right now. This right here is intellectual property owned by Draketomania Media that's going to live forever. See, this is what the internet gives you the power to do. So you guys want to start figuring this game out for yourselves. Everybody knows something. Everybody's an expert at something. Now your question is, that's why you can join Live Free Academy. You can join Monetize My Life Academy. We will teach you how to package what you know, present it in the marketplace so that you can get paid for it perpetually. That's the new way of building an empire. You build it digitally and not necessarily physically. And anybody can do that with as low as $10 a month for Monetize My Life Academy, whatever Thomas charges for Live Free Academy. Marquell has an academy. There's tons of places that you can go to learn how to do this stuff for yourself. So we're going to talk about some other stuff off after the stream, but you're listening to and learning from Thomas H. Clifton. I'm H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community. Until we talk to you guys next time, we want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it, but more importantly, you deserve it. Peace out, y'all. All right, I often forget